Hey, Blather and Digress, that's me, Dave J. And you know what? That's not very good, but hi, everybody. This is Dave J. Another journey to my gig, blathering and digressing with you. Well, not yet, but it's about to happen. So strap in, because I'm Dave J. from New York City. Songwriter, performer, storyteller, characters for kids and adults. Well, I'm running a little late today, so I better step it up. Double time. Okay. I'm kind of tired and feeling a little burnt, but feeling okay. But feeling like, well, I got a lot of feelings. They're all colliding with each other. They usually do. You see, I've got to watch where I'm going. How are you today? Great. I normally have Saturdays off, but I booked a couple of kids' birthday parties this weekend and played two. One in New York City here, where I am, and the other in Hoboken, New Jersey. Both went great. I have to say, I guess I should tell you the story about how I even got into the kids performing. There's a detailed account for you. And what with the blathering and digressing, and the dog crap that I'm like sidestepping on the street, it's going to be a long story. So here we go. Okay. I'm a little all over the place, as usual, but I'm finding myself scattered and more so than usual. So let me step back a moment. When I began this episode, just moments ago, I had been thinking, I was humming a tune as I started, and it was just a nonsense tune, throwaway really. Couldn't possibly remember a moment of it, how it goes. But it gave me the idea, as I'd kind of been thinking time to time, I should write a theme song for Blather and Digress. That would be a good idea. So here are the things I've learned about theme songs. They've changed since I was a kid. There was like an album, a record called TV Tunes when I was a teenager. Had all the great television theme songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, something like that. And God, TV theme songs used to be just great pieces of music. Mod Squad, Get Smart. Get Smart is my ringtone. It's great, I love it. Of course, it was coupled with a great bit of film or video to go with it. And there you go, original great content right there. But what I learned from a music supervisor that I spoke with, and a music supervisor, for those of you not in the business of music supervision and other things related, that's somebody who on a TV show or a film project or whatever supervises the music. Haha, see how that works? Okay. Sometimes things are as they appear, like the dog crap I just sidestepped again. Thank you, Mayor. I hold him responsible for not cleaning up after the dogs. Broken windows law, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. Don't. All right, I'm back. Theme songs. So, what are you banging over there? All right, sorry, I had to stop. See, that's the mayor was allowing them to bang. I just look for a nemesis. That's all. Let me cover my tracks. Okay. Did you hear me? Thank you. Okay. Good timing on that one. Okay. So anyway, the music supervisor told me that theme songs now are very, very short. You know, as opposed to what I was mentioning in this 50s, 60s, 70s, etc. They were like these nice long pieces of music and everything in there. Now it's just like, get in, get out, boom. It's a little bit of a bummer. Certainly does not work with my attention span. And that's that. So, I don't know if I'm gonna allow myself to apply the music supervisor rules for the way I want to do it. After all, if you're here hanging out with me, you may be as old school as I am, missing the old school, the tradition, the variety format. That's what I love, and that's what I was raised on, and I'm sticking with it. perhaps at my peril. Although I am doing this social media stuff, so it's not like I'm sticking with everything, you know? Anyway, it's not like this is a radio show or anything. It's just borrowing from the traditions. That's what I'm doing. There you go. All right, so that's the whole theme song bit. I'm going to think that through. I've been thinking it through. One of these days, what I will do is I'll just sit down and do it. The many goals. Let's run for this light. Woo! All right. I notice if you go woo, people look. That guy over there was looking when I wooed. I wasn't wooing him. You know what I mean? I have someone. No, okay. But anyway, I'm so tired. Whatever rambles out my lips, through my gullet. I love the gullet. I love that word. It's a great word. Word of the day, gullet. And I always thought it'd be funny to have a restaurant called the Gullet and Colon. It's just straight ahead right there. You go and then you go, and and that's it. The Gullet and Colon. All right. So what I was going to tell you about, because I mentioned I had these 2 kids' birthday party gigs yesterday, and I enjoy it, and I'll tell you why. It's certainly not why I got into this business. No. In fact, the whole idea of performing for children was never a thought when I had showbiz dreams as a kid. In fact, I used to be performing for, well, I guess adults, kids and adults, general audiences. I never really particularly worked blue. I'm not going to make that light. All right, so now we have a time to stop and talk. Anyway, I guess where it started was, this is a memory that just popped into my head. When I was in high school, I was given a summer job by Mr. Lowy. Yeah. And it was like a program at one of the elementary schools in Livingston on the other side of town from where I lived. I think it was Hillside School. I could be wrong. Maybe not. No. The one where near Neil Zirkus lived, and maybe Brett Goodman was back that. No, maybe not. No, he was Heritage, so no, he was Mount Pleasant. I'm digressing. Who, me? Yes. So whatever it was, Mr. Lowy gave me this job helping out the gym teacher for this summer program, and so I'm self-conscious about people overhearing me talk to a phone like this, and got this. I don't know if you could see the selfie stick, and I can't show you because then they got to remove the thing and put it back. Anyway, I'm getting strange looks. It makes me very self-conscious. All right, we got the walk signal. Then I can walk and just not think about it, talk. Okay. Yeah, because I stop to think about it, I feel like an idiot, Okay, it's worth the risk. No perfection here. Let's keep going. Mr. Lowy gave me this job, and I guess it wasn't clearly defined to me, or maybe I didn't pay attention when he defined it, but I was helping out the gym teacher, cool guy. I don't remember who he was now, and at the end of the summer, Mr. Lowy called me into his office and said, David, very serious, very stern. He said, you are the first employee of mine in this program. I'm like, yeah, who I will never hire back. I'm still, when I say it now, a little bit crestfallen, was not expecting that at all. I had such a great time. I was running around with the kids, helping out the gym teacher, giving him the bag of the big red rubber balls and everything that we played with, and the cones. I put the cones out. But then I wasn't told what to do, so I just did with the gym teacher. I just ran around with the kids. Well, Mr. Lowy said, you're not supposed to play with the children. You're supposed to be like, I don't know what he said, maybe some kind of authority figure or something. Me, the 16-year-old pimply-faced kid who was not given direction. And so now I was being minimized by Mr. Lowy. And I got to tell you, he wasn't, to be minimized by that guy. It wasn't a lot of authority. Is that the word? It just didn't have I don't know. It didn't feel good in any case. Maybe it never feels good. But if you're like minimized by a Don Draper, you're like, well, that guy's cool, So, all right, Maybe I'm wrong. But this guy was no Don Draper. So anyway, it really bothered me. But I think the point is that kids, I played with the kids, I am a big kid, and that's what I guess I was doing naturally, so without direction. So then it fast forward until my brother and sister-in-law had my niece, their first child, in 1996. And then I guess a year later, November of 97, my sister-in-law was like, Uncle David, you play guitar. Here's a list of kids songs. Would you play your niece Emily's birthday party? And I was like, sure, that's cool. So I learned these songs, the basic kid songs, the Old MacDonald and things like that. And I went into the restaurant where they had the party, and we all sat on the floor, and I remember it fairly vaguely, but pretty well, that what I remember about it is I was just improvising stuff, because I'd never been in that situation before. I've ever been the performer. If anybody knows me out there, I've always been ready to perform without causation. There's probably plenty of causation, but anyway, causality, is that the word? I have to get my definitions, my vocabulary straight. Again, I'm a little fuzzy. The coffee didn't really help this morning. It hasn't entirely kicked in. I'm just gonna make my way through this day. So anyway, what happened was the gig went well. My mom complimented me, and I remember I was just really good, even with the kids, improvising and getting some laughs from these little kids. Not my niece, she was one, I don't think she spit up a couple times. That's best I can remember. Sorry to embarrass you, Emily. Nothing embarrassing about it. That's what one-year-olds do. All right, so, and then I didn't really play too many kids' gigs that I can recall after that, other than my niece's other birthday parties. And then my nephew was born in '99, and same with him. And in the year 2000, I'd started working with a nonprofit called HAI, Hospital Audiences Incorporated. And I was playing the adult psychiatric wards and things like Manhattan Psych and Kingsborough Psych and Creedmoor and all these places, playing mostly cover tunes, Nick Lowe and the Beatles and things like that. And Cruel to Be Kind, yeah. I used to cover that, I forgot. I should pull that back into the set. I love that song. All his stuff, he's great. Nick Lowe, check him out. And, but at some point, just to get more work, they offered me some kids gigs, and I'd started putting a thing together for the little improv I was doing with my niece and nephew's birthday parties. So I was like, sure, I'd love the work, So I just started doing it, and again, more and more comedy bits would come improvised, and I would just sort of take note of what worked and then just keep doing them and perfecting them, just like a stand-up comedy routine, really. I would just write material. I would probably didn't practice too much, knowing me, but I would just play these kids' songs, and then the same comedy bits would just come naturally to me, and then those would stick. And over many years of doing these things, and then through Music That Heals, on the heels, no pun intended, of HAI's gigs, that Music That Heals worked in coordination with HAI, so that's probably how it started too. Music That Heals had some kids gigs through HAI, that's right. Now I remember. It's all coming back to my fuzzy brain now. So, and then it just developed into this stand-up comedy routine with music. And I got such a great compliment yesterday from one of the parents of one of the kids attending the party. He came up to me after, and a number of parents did. I should be more humble and not toot my own horn, but even though it's not really what I want to do, I have to say it's fun because like a good solid stand-up routine, it just has so much working in it, developed over years. I know it's like a stand-up routine in that way. It's very satisfying. The bits play. I know when they don't play, why they don't play, most of the time. And I know how to avoid it, or to, how to pivot with what's going on. And one of the parents came up to me yesterday and said, that was really great, but there's so many facets to it, And that made me feel great because, like George Carlin, somebody I've been a big fan of, studied even over the years, he has so many tools on his utility belt, He can do the word stuff. He can do the physical humor. He can do, like fast-paced stuff. There's just so many different facets to his comedy that I know what I bring to the Kids Act is certainly the wordplay, big time. Big fan of that, as you've probably picked up on in these Blather and Digresses, that is still theme songless, and we'll try to rectify that. And in the near future. Feel free to come up with how about this? Little contest. You're supposed to involve the audience when you do these things, I'm told. So, maybe you guys could come up with a theme song. Come up with a theme song of your own and post it. Post it on YouTube and send it to me there. Or post it on my Facebook page, which is, well, I'm gonna have to do something about that too. I have my fan page, Dave J., songwriter, performer, storyteller, characters for kids and adults, which is the fan page. Most people aren't on that. Most people just follow me on my regular personal Facebook page. I'd always reasoned that your personal Facebook page, that's where most of my people are, so I'll reach more people that way. But now, the guru, Damian Keyes, has pointed out in one of his videos, or somewhere, maybe in his book, maybe both, that no, you should tell people that you're not going to be using your personal page as much. You need to use, please come follow me on my fan page. Then you can get the wheat from the chaff in terms of your fan base. But I haven't yet figured out when I'm going to make that change. There's so many priorities, He's also good at helping to whittle down and focus in on the priorities. So anyway, we'll see about that. Getting back to the kids stuff. So, yeah. So that's the story. Did I finish? Is there more to the story? Who knows? There's always more. I guess that's it. That's why and how I ended up playing kids gigs, and I started doing them so much to make a living that they were really the predominant source of my income. Hitchcock, hello? Can you see the birds? Jeez. I don't know if you could see all those. Sometimes I notice I turn the camera, but I'm not looking as to see what's being shot, and then you don't see the thing I'm seeing. So it's kind of a drag when that happens. But anyway, yeah, I would say for a period of many years, it was predominantly the kids' gigs. And then I was already playing some assisted living facilities. As I'd said, I'd played the adult psychiatric places. HAI had sent me to this place I'm going to now on West 106th Street. And then HAI had a tragic ending to its organization. It was in the news. It's a story you couldn't make up. Truly, in the literal word of tragedy, tragic circumstances. And maybe I don't even want to tell you that story. It's too heartbreaking. But when they went belly up, I love that expression because I think it looks funny in my brain. Then belly. The belly is up. That's right. Pork belly. All right, I don't know what's going on now. I've lost control of my thoughts. So moving on, yes, I went straight to this facility and I said, well, now that HAI is sadly no more, may I just come to you directly? And they said, yes, you become your own vendor, and boom. And then I'm with some guidance from my dear friend Kathy Lord, who co-founded Music That Heals. I made up some promotional postcards and sent them out to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of facilities in the area, and started booking some other ones, and some of them stuck, and then they added days, and even the one I'm going to now was up to 5 days a week at one point, and then budget cuts, that often happens, and so now it's a couple of days. But one of the other facilities went from 1 to 3 days, so it's it's a funny business, but I'm very fortunate to be doing it. And then adding the odd kids gig in here and there as I see fit. And it's funny because, there was a TV show idea that I'm always coming up with ideas for a show, because ultimately it was a TV show that largely got me into wanting to be in showbiz, which was The Monkees. And I see myself, and this is pertinent, so let's get a little closer. Oh, hello. Okay, let's get a little too close. The Monkees TV show, except Peter Tork, who treated me very not nicely. Did I ever tell you that story? No, I have to tell you that story. Oof. He didn't have to. He just went out of his way. I'm gonna have to tell you that story soon. I gotta get over it. But it is funny because human behavior is so funny, you know? Gosh, anyway, gosh darn it. The Monkees TV show impacted me so hugely, as I mentioned, because they'd write and play these catchy tunes, and they wore those shirts that looked so cool. I don't even think about the fashion element as much when I think about it. And they put on silly costumes and would do Marx Brothers-esque, because that was not nearly as good as the Marx Brothers, not even close, but it was really more like Play on the Hard Day's Night-esque type of Beatles humor. But, you know, it was whimsical and funny for a little kid. And there was a lot of shtick, which was, you know, probably largely because at that time, in the 60s, when this TV show was made, the vaudevillians were older, and the Borscht Belt guys were probably in their heyday of writing for television and making appearances on shows like that. So I'm sure that played in to the influence that I have, because I love that stuff. And, well, all these things together were oh my God, that's why I think subconsciously and consciously in more recent years, I've pursued wanting to have a program that incorporates all these elements. I created something called 1 Minute Autobiography. You can look it up. It's on my website, it's on YouTube, and I post it on the socials every now and again, and that probably has come closest to using this skill set. And I want to develop a show, still want to develop a show that incorporates my pop rock music and my character acting and comedic and shtick skills. The shtick skill. Yes, I may have a vacation home one day in Shtickkill, New York. I'd like to be rich enough to buy a town and change the name of it to Shtickskill. Except you can't really say it not even one time fast for me, apparently. Shtickskill. Welcome to Shtickskill, New York, Dave J's home of abiding humor and musical blather. Anyway, I don't know if my music blathers, probably, but okay, I don't know where I am with this. I don't know what's going on. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're getting value out of it. That's the thing. I asked some friends recently. I try to very much to keep in touch with my friends and colleagues and keep the networking and keep the, finding out how my friends are doing and keep connected. One of the things I learned in these assisted living facilities is that people over the years lose touch with a lot of their friends. And I've always naturally tried to keep in touch with my friends and family to a certain extent, but that part has not gone as well because they're not your friends, It's like an obligation. They don't want to do it. I gotta do it because I love my uncle and I have to, for him, gotta like this schmo, The incredible new schmo. Okay, it's nothing new about it. I have a lot of jaded feelings with it. Don't we all? Some of the family stuff. Anyway, you don't ever feel you're treated. How about this? I call myself Dave my entire adult life, right? They all call me David. Now, I know some of them, it's like they're used to it. It's muscle memory for them. They call me David. Let's face it, it's a little passive aggressive, right? Because every single time I'm like signing my name Dave. Hi, this is Uncle Dave. Hey, this is Dave. Dave, I'm Dave. Did you notice I keep saying Dave? Not David, that's 2 syllables. It's a little bit of a pet peeve. And as we previously discussed, pet rocks are better than pet peeves. But anyway, so blathering and digressing with Dave J. Here we are. Ooh, look at this place. I'd like to live there because it looks like a place I'd like to live. But I don't even know what it is. It could be a holy place. It could be a place where evildoers do their evil ways. I don't know. I like letting my imagination decide. Well, in any case, where was I? Friends. I try to keep in touch with the friends because it's meaningful to me, but I spoke with some friends recently who I said, I found out a few of them that watched this Blather and Digress I didn't even know. And I asked for the feedback because I'm like, am I bringing value? Because that's the thing. That's the big thing you're supposed to bring, you know? I mean, I brought a few snacks in here, but that's for the gig. I don't know what to bring value to you. Hopefully it's entertainment value. Maybe there's something, maybe I'm helping you waste your time. Okay, happy to lend a hand. Here we go. But seriously, so they all, interestingly, independently, 3 of them said the same thing. They said things to this effect. Well, I enjoy them, but I'm your friend, you know, and I just feel like I'm hanging out with you because we're friends and this is what you're like when we hang out. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's a reason why it brings value to them and not others. But what if I can extrapolate that is the value that I could bring to people who don't even know me? You're making a new friend with a guy who blathers on. Maybe you have friends like it. Maybe you just enjoy hanging out with me as a friend. That would be great. That would be, you know, like Michael Scott. I want friends. We've been friends now for so many years. We've been together through the good times and the tears. Dim dip-a-lie, dim dip-a-loo, dim dip-a-loo, dippy-ah-oo. Highly recommend this record by the Beach Boys called Friends. Favorite album, almost probably, it's hard to pick one, but this record I could listen to in any mood. My old buddy, I haven't spoken to in a long time, but I miss dearly, actually, Steve Zavechin. Steven, he prefers to be called, I believe now. Boy, we talked about this record endlessly. How you could listen to it in any mood and feel really good, no matter what. Oh, I love it. Brian Wilson, to me, at his pinnacle, at his peak. And the single Breakaway came out of that. That is my favorite recording, bar none. The recording, Breakaway, please check it out. It may not be your cup of tea, may not be your bag, or if you're from Long Island, big, as my friend Tom Brown likes to say. But, oh boy, love the music on Friends. And that's the title track, obviously. So, well, if you're just first time checking this out, check out my other Blather and Digress videos. Maybe you'll enjoy hanging out with your old friend Dave J, that's me, on those, or these, or them, or duns, or dozes. And I guess it's almost time for me to go because I'm about to get to my gig. But feel free to smush like and to subscribe to my Instagram at davej.com. That's spelled out DAVEJAYDOTCOM. YMCA. Okay, no, that's not part of it. No YMCA in there. For me, it would probably be YMHA. That's my upbringing, yes. And then we'll get together for a quilt making class. I don't know why. Do they do that? They probably do, trust me. Raise money for the building fund, you know, as I borrow a line from Billy Crystal's old stand-up. But anyway, one for the building fund. Anyway, anybody who knows that routine will get it. I used to love his stand-up too. We forget that he was a stand-up because now he plays the same character in every movie where he's a New York sports fan and he's like whimsical and making cracks at everyone's expense. But I love him. Okay. So, anyway, you can follow me on YouTube. I would love if you'd subscribe to me on YouTube. All these videos go there, and all my other videos. I got tons of other types of my songs and other characters I do, and other things. I got a lot of original songs, thousands. Well, certainly many, many of hundreds. Anyway, so Dave J. Gerstein, DAVEJAYGERSTEIN. Got to get a theme song in on that too. And what other things can you follow me on? You can follow me covertly down the street. I may call the fuzz, but that's the risk you take. So on that note, I thank you very much for your kindness and support. I'm Dave J, blathering and digressing with you. Insert your name here. Have a great day. Thank you.